Hello, everybody. This is Tammy, Texas Desert Rose, and doing something a little bit different today. Um, we had such a good response with the interview with Miss Cheri regarding her addiction history, and dealing with chemotherapy that we've decided, and I had quite a few questions about the addiction and 12 step and things like that as well. So we decided that I think we're going to try to do a like a periodic short version about 12 step and just life in general. So thank you and welcome Cheri back to
Hey,
Texas Desert
everybody.
Rose. Thank you for joining us. And per usual, let me just say the business side of it. Please like, share, all of that stuff because it really helps so much. And we're going to try to do this consistently each week. Our topic today is I always say fake it till you feel it, but it's actually, what is the actual saying, Cheri?
The actual saying is fake it till you make it,
Which
which
overall doesn't sound very positive, but it's
no,
meant to be, right?
no, it doesn't. And I'll be the first to tell you, like I hate all the cliche sayings, and I think that one is especially one that can be taken out of context. You know,
Okay.
it's not enough if I'm just faking things and hoping that, and going through the motions so that everybody thinks that I'm okay, right? Uh,
Oh,
I'm not doing myself any better. I'm not doing myself any,
favors.
yeah. But the whole meaning and what made me look at this saying differently was I actually wrote about this in school. They gave us a list of like all these cliche sayings, and we had to pick one. And that one stuck with me the most because
It's catchy.
yeah, and what it's actually saying, it's kind of like if you're familiar with the 12-step program, right? So your first couple of steps, steps two and three, really, it's all about open-minded and willingness, right?
Hmm.
So, and it kind of takes me back there. If I'm open-minded and willing, right? It doesn't matter if I'm riddled with fear or resentment or whatever it is that's holding me back, right? If I just keep, and as much as like, I don't want to, like, I want to get better, but I'm just not there yet, right? If I'm open-minded and willing, that if I keep doing and putting in the work and going through the motions, right? Eventually something's going to kick in and
I
things
think
just
that
start
that can
changing.
work, but it's complicated.
It is. It's kind of like if I'm full of fear, right? If I just keep, I don't want to say suppressing my fear, but if I keep not letting it, um, if I push it aside, right? And keep showing up like I have confidence and I have, that everything in the end, everything is going to be okay. Eventually, something changes and I start believing that for real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I start believing that I actually do have the confidence, right? The fear goes away. And I do have confidence in myself and I'm not letting those things hold me back anymore, right? Um, it's not just faking it anymore, right?
So in the mental health world, which I know you're familiar as well, it is like the reason I feel like it's complicated is some level of that I think is necessary. I don't want to get up on Monday morning and
Yeah.
go to work, but you fake it until you get there and you
Yeah.
get through, and pretty soon. But if you're going through life, in my opinion, of course, if you're going through life faking everything, that energy is what you um, attract to you
Yeah.
of, genuine and real, but you can't be genuine and real all the time.
Yeah. And sometimes I do. Like sometimes I'm having the worst day ever and I have to put on a face. You know what I mean? I have to pretend that, you know what I mean? I'm okay even when I don't want to so that I can keep moving forward. Um, but I think where it gets people mistake, that um saying is, that if I just pretend all the time, right? Like then you're not going to get better, right? If I'm just constantly pretending, I'm not going to get better. But sometimes I do. I have to do things I don't want to do, right? I have to force
Yeah.
myself to do things I don't want to do in order to get to where I want to be, right?
Well, and from an addiction perspective, we can literally maybe apply it to right now I want to use. But right now I'm going to do what I want to
Yeah,
follow the steps. I'm going to
yeah,
do what I need to do. I'm going to get on my knees and pray. I'm going to
yeah.
do these things. Does that track? You agree with that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like I have to go to these meetings. I have to call my sponsor. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
have to, put everything, I have to take everything, um, like all the energy that I was using to put into my addiction and getting high, as hard as it is, if I take all of that energy and put it towards getting sober, right? And finding peace and freedom, eventually I'm going to find it. Um, I don't have it in the beginning, right? I
Lord, no.
don't have it. I'm just doing what the steps tell me to, and I'm doing what the book tells me to. And my sponsor tells me to. And so you're kind of faking it till you make it, right? You're going through the motions and eventually something clicks. Eventually something you have that you find that spiritual connection. You find that you know, um that connection with a higher power or whatever your higher power may be, or, and things just start kind of falling into place and it doesn't feel like you're faking it anymore. It actually, you're like, wow, this is amazing. This is real.
It can
And
be there.
yeah, it can be there.
Would you say that it probably comes and goes?
Oh, yeah,
Like it's there and other
definitely.
days,
Oh,
just real life.
definitely. Yeah, definitely. I'm 10 years sober and I still have days where I'm just like, oh, you know, um, but I don't want to get up in the morning. I don't want to do things. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
don't, but I know what I need to do. And those are the times, here's the thing, those are the times, it's the times when I don't feel like doing the things that I need to do them the most, right?
Yeah.
Because by doing them, I'm actually helping myself without even realizing it. By doing the things that I don't want to do, right? I'm changing things. My perspective of things, my outlook of things, my um and it just becomes natural to me, right?
In the at least in my counseling world, a lot of times what I would say to clients is you don't even have to put a whole foot forward. You just need to put a toe forward, but that
Yeah.
energy takes over and moves you in that direction. And that feels related to this fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. It's a practice of showing up.
Showing up.
You know
And
what I
sometimes
mean?
that's all it takes.
That's all it takes is just showing up. You
Yeah.
know, my first meeting, I didn't want to go to. You know what I mean?
I think that's
Uh,
normal.
my first time I had to sit down and do a fifth step with my sponsor. I didn't want to do it. You know what I mean? Um, all of these things I don't want to do, but if I take, like I said, I have to take, I was willing to go to the ends of the earth to get that next hit and to get high, right? And so I have to turn that energy the opposite direction. And
Even when the results
yeah,
don't come immediately, they
even when
will.
they don't come immediately. And sometimes things aren't going to look the way that we think that they should. You know what I mean? And that's
Yeah.
okay. That's okay. Um, things are going to look the way that they're supposed to. They're going to turn out the way that they're supposed to in the end. And
Yeah.
not look the way that we think that it should, and that's
And
okay.
not use it for an excuse to go back.
No, yeah, it's
You know,
about
make the calls,
being
get out, whatever your serenity and go to ritual is, do that in order to get through the next hour or whatever.
absolutely. But I get to a place where I'm not clenching the table. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
not clenching the table just to make it through the day anymore, even on the days that I don't want
Nice.
to do things, right?
Yeah.
Um, but it's when you're feeling like you don't want to do things the most, that's when I know I need to show up, right? When I don't want to go to that meeting, that's when I know I need to be there.
So
Um,
your best days back then could be your worst days now. The
yes,
standards have increased a lot.
yeah, it's amazing.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Cheri, so much for this. And you guys look for these again on a consistent basis. And thank you for joining us. Thank you, Cheri.
Thanks, Tammy.
Have an awesome week.
You too.
Bye.
Bye. Was that bad?
No, it's
Oops.
good.